This bar of soap cost me $0.1 to make, not because it's cheap, but because I understand oil. Used cooking oil. This is the thing that most people throw away. Zero waste soap, meaning soap that is made with old, recycled cooking oil, has a bad reputation. Usually, people who make soap with cooking oil complain about the bad smell and everything that comes after that. But it doesn't have to be this way. You see, oil goes bad because of oxidation. Oxidation happens in the presence of oxygen and heat. So if you just use old cooking oil directly for soap making, meaning if you just add lye into your old cooking oil, what you will get is a soap that has a very, very bad smell and that will basically have a lot of dreaded orange spots because it has gone rancid. So adding lye to your old cooking oils does not remove the bad smell. Instead, it locks them in, so they will still exist there in your final product. So people think adding lye is what cleans your oil, but in reality what cleans your oil is rendering it before adding the lye. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. I'm gonna show you the steps, the 3 steps to render your oil and clean it. Your rendered oil, lye, and then that will lead to a product where its only cost is gonna be the lye. The lye is around €7 per kilo, and with 1 kilo of lye you can make many bars of soap. So 1 bar of soap around 100 grams will need around $0.1 of lye to be made. So let's look at the system. Step 1, filtration. Here you're removing food, not fixing the oil. If you heat it up a lot, you will end up oxidizing the oil completely. If you don't heat it up a lot and it's too cold, you will not remove any of the contaminants. And in this step, most people heat the oil completely before they even start and oxidize the whole thing. So let's look at step 1 in detail. First, I'm gonna take some old cooking oil and put it in this glass, just to measure how much I'm taking. You can see a lot of pieces and a lot of food waste is dropping there. So this is very dirty. We're gonna take this old oil, and what we're gonna do is that we're gonna heat the oil at 55 degrees Celsius. Not more, because if you do more, you will likely oxidize it. So we're gonna use a thermometer. So now we're gonna pass our oil first through a metal sieve to get all the big pieces out. And now we're gonna filter through a coffee filter. Now the coffee filter I'm using is this one. You can also use a kitchen cloth. That would also work perfectly fine. And I'm gonna pass it through here. This coffee filter is completely blocked and completely clogged, so I'm gonna change to a new one and I'm gonna continue the process. The second filter is also clogged, so I'm gonna put a third filter. So now our filtration is done, and we're gonna go ahead to step number 2. Step number 2 is going to be the water washing. So our oil, as you can see, it's very clear right now. So what we want to do is that we are going to heat up some water, and we are actually going to heat up some distilled water, and we are going to mix it with the oil in a 1-to-1 ratio. We're going to heat our water at around 60 degrees Celsius and our oil at around 55 to 60 degrees Celsius as well, and then we're going to mix them together. So now I'm going to heat my filtered oil. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add the warm oil to the warm water in a 1-to-1 ratio. And we're going to stir lightly. We do not want to create an emulsification here, meaning that we do not want to mix the oil and water together vigorously, that they become one, but rather just a bit. And what we're trying to do now is that we try to take all these molecules that smell bad, all the molecules that we do not want. We want them to pass down into the water phase, and we want to clean the oil phase. And now we're gonna cover it and leave it overnight to sit here on the bench. It's been 12 hours since our oil and water have been sitting together in two different phases. The purpose of that was that all the odors that exist in the oil are actually water soluble. So the hope is that during the night, all the water soluble bad odors would transfer to the water phase. So now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna remove the oil phase and we're gonna go to phase 3. And I'm gonna remove the oil phase. What I'm gonna do to remove the oil phase is that I'm gonna use a syringe because I find it way more practical. The oil still has a bit of smell, but way less than what it was yesterday. Phase 3 is the activated charcoal treatment. Activated charcoal is good at absorbing all the bad odor compounds and all the oxidation compounds. We're gonna go ahead and add 1% activated charcoal into our oil mixture, heat it up to 60 degrees Celsius and stir it for 1 hour. We're gonna stir it lightly, we don't have to be right above it, and we're gonna maintain the temperature around 60 degrees, so we're gonna have it in very low heat. During this time, activated charcoal will absorb any remaining bad odor compounds. So let's go ahead and do it. So we're gonna go ahead and add 1%. Is that we're gonna slightly heat this up. So I'm gonna put it in low heat to have better control. I'm gonna have my thermometer to control the temperature. I don't wanna get it too hot. And I'm gonna stir lightly. You can see it actually being super black, of course. So we have been using the oil and the charcoal. We have been mixing them together for about an hour. And now we're going to pass it inside this glass. And we're gonna let it sit there for about 8 hours. And what's gonna happen is that all the charcoal will go down because of gravity, and then we will have a top layer of clean oil, and we're gonna take that out, filter it one more time through a coffee filter, and then we'll have a clean oil without any particles and without any odor. Our refined oil with charcoal has been sitting here for 8 hours, and now we're gonna pass it through the filter where we're gonna retain all the charcoal and only get the oil. Let's go ahead and do that. You can see most of the charcoal is actually here in the glass left, and then we're gonna pass it through the filter 1 or 2 more times until it becomes completely pure. And you can see the product coming out there. So I've been filtering it for a while now, so I've used 3 filters so far, and this is my last. Basically put it here for you guys to see more clearly how it looks like. So it looks like that, and so it went through 3 different steps. Step 1 was filtration, step 2 was adding water, and step 3 was the activated charcoal. So the activated charcoal, we added 1%, and the whole point was to remove any scent. So does it still smell like fishy? I can get something on the background. It's definitely way less than what it was before. You can see the oil is very clean. And that oil was very fishy, like the initial smell. So of course there is tiny bit smell of fish left in that, but very subtle. Oil is cleaned, and it looks like that, so it's very clear. And as I said, the scent, it's still very subtle. I can smell a bit of fish. Will I use that for soap making? Probably not. I won't. What I recommend for the future for you, if you're interested in zero waste soap, is that you can definitely recycle any type of oil apart from oil where you have fried fish, because it has a very, very strong scent. I've also fried a lot of different types of meat, but there is no scent of that at all, so it's only the fish that still is there. And then you can use it as normal oil, basically, to make your soap. If you enjoyed this video, please click the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.